Hi guys, welcome to the show. This is the 3D show with myself, Desire Danso. Remember, whatever decision you make today will determine your destiny for tomorrow. Listen, are you as excited as I am? Listen, it's coming home. It's coming home. Well done, England, for getting to the finals. I can't wait. Listen, I don't even know when the finals is. Is it on Saturday or Sunday? Please comment down below and let me know. I can't wait. If England wins, we won't hear the end of it. But listen, it will definitely pump some life into, a very hard year that we've been having, so I'm looking forward to that. How's your week been? My week has been very, very interesting. Deadlines, assignments, and all of that. So I'm so happy to take a break from all of that and be here with you guys today. The discussion today is going to be very, very deep, but very enjoyable. It's a topic that I so much enjoy, and the guest in the studio is a favorite guest of mine. All my guests are favorites, but he's a favorite of mine. He's here. He's come such a long way, and I couldn't be happier to have him with us. I'm so excited for the discussion because I know I'm gonna learn a lot. I always do when I speak with him, and I know you guys learn a lot as well. We're just gonna move on to the hot topics of this week. I'm gonna try and keep my composure because the Ghanaian government is doing a lot. So it has come out in the news that the government wants to, they've decided to basically give salaries to the president's spouses, so the wives of the president and the wife of the vice president. And not only this, their salaries are going to be backdated to 2017. And don't ask me why. I can already read your minds. Don't ask me why, because I wish I knew. So our first ladies are supposed to be getting 21,000 Ghana cedis a month, and this is going to be backdated to 2017 till now, and moving forward till I guess they come out of office. And then also, this doesn't include their monthly allowances, which is allegedly said to be up to 87,000 Ghana cedis a month. And this is also going to be backdated to 2017. Now, this is a country where we don't even have running ambulance. This is a country where we've seen countless videos of women giving birth on pavements. We don't have the money or the resources to put all of this together, but we have money to be paying our first ladies 21,000 cedis a month. Okay, I'll reserve my judgment. And then, also I was scrolling through the blogs, and I just saw that, last week I spoke about the protests going on in Ghana, the Fix the Country hashtag going on. There's been a young lady that's been, very vocal about, very passionate about what's happening and trying to make things right for the people of Ghana. And she's a social media influencer, Ifya Odo. I just saw on the blogs that she's actually lost a quite lucrative ambassadorial deal that she had with Euro Decor. And why? Just because she has taken a stance to try and fight for a better Ghana for the youth of Ghana. Now, if you read the comments below this post, it's just so disgusting. It's so disheartening because, and it just makes you think, what is the mindset of these people? Because you don't have the courage to do it. Somebody has taken on this fight for your benefit, and you're laughing at her because she's losing her source of income. It just makes you think, why even bother doing anything? Do you know what I mean? Why even bother going the extra mile? But you know what? This is the discussion that we're going to be having today. We're going to be talking about attitudes and mindset when it comes to success, when it comes to making decisions, and when it comes to just being a human being. You know, what attitude do you have, and what mindset do you have, and how is that impacting your community? How is that impacting your society, and how is that impacting your life? So yeah, we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, I will introduce my guest, and then we will get the discussion going. But just before we go, I want to give a shout out to some of my sponsors. First of all, I want to talk about ITS Pro Training Center. If you want to get your SIA card in just 6 days, please contact the SIA Training Center. And then also you can get your CSCS card in just 1 day as well. You can contact them on 07904 686944. And then also, if you've got, you know, if you've got any events coming up, please contact World Media Production. If you've got weddings, birthdays, christenings, parties, funerals, anything, all types of events, please contact World Media Production. They don't just do, you know, filming your event and then editing it and giving it to you. They also do live stream as well. So if you have an event going on, but you've got loved ones in Ghana, in America, in wherever, they will be able to stream it live on YouTube, and you know, everyone can tune in real time. You can contact them on 0744 888 9490, and that is World Media Productions. And then also, if you have, you know, diabetes, if you have low sperm count, if you have asthma, hepatitis B, prostate cancer, please contact Aggie Tabby Herbal. You know, they've got some herbs to treat all these things. You can contact them on 074 1517 9166. That's Aggie Tabby Herbal. This this herbs reduces the risk of stroke, preventing blood clots, mood booster, and then of course asthma, diabetes, hepatitis, and all that good stuff. Please contact them, because trust me, outside is about to open in full swing, and we need to be in good shape to enjoy life. We only have one life to live, so listen, invest in your health. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we are going to jump straight into the discussion with our guest. Stay put. See you soon.
That's how we training center we do. Yeah, with some certificate now.
Hi guys, hi, welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, you are tuned into the 3D show with myself, Desire. And just before the break, we were just talking about all the mess going on in Ghana, but we all pray for Ghana, and you know, we will hope for the best. So today we're going to be talking about attitudes and mindset, and you know, we have none other than Dr. Emmanuel Nate in the building. I'm always so grateful when he comes, because he's coming from literally another city, like 3-4 hours away. So it's always good, like, you know, for him, it's always humbling for him to deem our show good enough to drive all this way. So Doc, thank you for coming.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for making that journey. So how did, the last time we spoke, you had your last competition as an Olympian. How did that go?
It went okay. I think it was more emotional than anything, and it's also more about closure. So I wanted to go to the tournament, and I knew it's going to be a very difficult tournament, because I have prepared my mind for that occasion that it's going to be the last time. Yeah, the fight was good, and then I injured my groin halfway. So that was how my career ended, but I'm also glad that it ended, that I had an opportunity to be on that stage for so long. I think 20 years is quite a very long time to be on that level. And it is, for me, I'm more grateful of the opportunity that I have, because there is a lot of people in the world that didn't get this opportunity, and I had this opportunity to be at that stage at that long and to bring it to an end. It was good.
Yeah. So, guys, if you don't know, Dr. Emmanuel is actually a gold Olympian. He's won the gold in the Olympics in 2005.
That was in 2009.
2009 in judo, in judo. So he's not only a doctor, he's also an Olympian. So yeah, so that's where. And unfortunately, was that a personal decision or was it due to injuries?
No, it was a personal decision. You know, everything that goes up must come down at some point. So I think it was a good time to go, and my body also has had enough and it's telling me it's time to go.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like just by that introduction alone, we can just move on to, the topic of the day, attitudes and mindset. Now, Dr. Emmanuel actually has a book out, which he's co-written with quite a few people. It's called The Success Sprint. It's actually going to be on the screens right now. You can get it on Kindle or which is Amazon, or you can get it from other bookstores as well. It's quite an easy read, very inspirational. I started reading it last night and I couldn't put it down. I'm almost done this morning. You can find his contribution in chapter 20, where he talks about his success journey. Reading your chapter, it was very surreal and very sad. I'm not gonna lie, because you spoke about being at the age of 9 and going to the airport and just sitting there and watching the planes fly in and out till sunset. How does that relate to the topic that we're talking about today in terms of attitudes and mindset? How did that action contribute to your success story?
Well, when I was 9, I always do this, but it didn't sink in until I opened the computer and I decided to write the chapter. I think at the age of 9, unknowingly or without any awareness, I was actually developing my mindset and preparing my mind for the journey ahead of me. Fast forward 21 years later. So I think it's quite sad to walk to the airport barefoot with dirty clothes and the security chase you or they beat you and they say in our local language that go and have a bath or something, you're a very dirty person. But when I was writing, what resonated with me was that at that time, at that age, there is something within me that knows that my success is depending on the mindset that I am creating. So going to the airport was actually creating a mindset that a future that may come, that I'll be able to travel a lot to different countries. I'll be able to travel, go through airports like they are at my back garden. I think that was the sign that I was developing, and the kind of mindset I pick up at that age. And what it also means is that I knew, or something within me at the age of 9 knew, that if I have to be successful, I have to develop it through my mindset. So it's like cultivating the mindset for that age. And it's quite interesting when I sit back and I ask myself, why did you do it? I didn't know at that time, but now I know why I did it.
Yeah. Wow. You actually say it in the book. I'm quoting him right now. You say, I use my mind to create what the higher authority with the higher authority. Therefore, I collapsed all possibilities and created new dreams and new realities from the unknown. I mean, you've already said, at that time you didn't know what you were doing. But, talk us through how you became aware, and, how you became aware that your attitude and your mindset plays a major role in what your life, in the life that you want to create for yourself.
I think in life, everyone got this light that radiant within them, and if they are in touch with themselves, they will be able to identify this radiant. And when I was young, that light within me is driven by belief and faith. So basically, what I believe in is what I put my faith in, and that's what cultivate me the sources that I wanted in future. Because to be honest, my life or our life at that time was a hopeless situation. And when you are in a hopeless situation, it forces you to surrender to higher authority, because you are in a situation that you don't know your left and right, and you can't place your hope on anything else. So automatically, intuitionally, you focus yourself and your mind into the internal, what is within you, and what will open the access of the doors for you. And being in that moment was very magnificent, because I do not have to think about the future. I do not have to think about the past. All I wanted, to be honest, is food to eat. How am I going to eat? Because for us, 3 meals a day was difficult. So it's more about what am I going to eat, and then having the hope and belief that in future I will have a better life. You know, and at those time of my life, there's never a single time that I have doubted that my belief and my aspiration will not lead me to anything. I've always believed I'll be someone in future, but this belief does not tie into anyone else. It's more about myself and how I could console the higher power, because I always say that if I focus on myself and I align my thought with the higher power, then I collapse the possibilities, because I always sense that my life was always been surrounded by spirituality. So if I can type into that, those collapse the opportunity. And this simplicity happens that sometimes I met someone and then they'll pay for me to go to school for a few years, then the money finished, then I drop out. So this thing kind of happened. And this is what I call the collapse of possibility, because when you place your attention to the unknown, then you have the opportunity to create a future. But if you you think you know everything, you are kind of limited to your possibility in life.
Okay, so I mean, this is just, I feel like this conversation is so relevant right now, because you know, at the moment in Hot Topics we were talking about Ghana and, you know, the Fix the Country hashtag that's going on, where the whole initiative is for the youth to stand up to demand better for the country. Now, like, I feel like there's just no seriousness, and I'm not judging, but I feel like when you live in a country where every opportunity is being taken away from you, I mean, we're talking about, you know, leaders that now their wives are now getting paid almost more than 1 million cedis for salaries, and for basically, like, all these monies could be pumped into something. What do you think the issue is? Why do you think the youth are not so concerned with what is going on? Is that because you think, you know, like you said, you didn't have any hope, so you didn't even know where your next meal was coming from? Do you think it's because they just think, oh, well, I mean, I can eat, so I don't have to think about, you know, the healthcare system. I don't have to think about education. I don't have to think about, you know, the roads or something, because it doesn't directly impact me. Even at that, I don't know how it doesn't directly impact everybody. But what do you think the issue is? Why is the mindset and the attitudes of our youth not, I don't even know the word. I don't know the word for it.
Yeah.
Why are they not upset enough to actually want change?
Well, I think relating to Ghana is complicated, because we live in a society that intend to oppress people and intend to not to give opportunity or voice to the youth. But I also think, and this is part of the thing I wrote in the book, that to change, your internal world have to be greater than your external world. And I think in Ghana, the external world is for the youth is greater than their internal world. So Gandhi, for example, didn't change the whole Indian by citing violence or demonstration. He did it in a peaceful way. Why? Because his internal world, what he believed inside him, was greater than the oppressive regime that the British had on India at that time. So we have a system that is illusional, and we have a system that is fueled by greed and corruption. And then on the other side, we have the youth who don't, excuse me to say, don't really understand themselves in the first place, and don't really understand who they are and their place in society. These are very important. And I am very grateful that I understand this when I was really young, that I do not need to focus on what is happening around me. I do not need to focus on the poverty. I do not need to focus on my mom carrying stuff on the market and struggling to feed her. I need to focus on myself, who I am and who I intend to be, or who I envisage myself to be in the future. This is more important. Then through this, I change myself and I change the environment. And when I change the environment will be able to produce what I wanted to achieve. Now, so if you're trying to change a country with the same tone of voice as the oppressor, you are not going to solve any problem. You know, dictatorship does not solve any issue, and even the Soviet Union collapsed.
Yeah.
So it's my advice for the youth is, you should understand yourself, who you are. What do you like to achieve, and what is your place in this planet and the contribution you are trying to make? Focus on that. Change the internal world, and your internal world will change the environment. Do not go head to head with violence with the authority, because that will not serve any significant purpose, because at the end of the day, everything you do in life will eventually hit you back, because everything is connected. It's the illusion in the scientific or the Newtonian approach to life is that everything is material, therefore everything is disconnected. It's not. They are all connected at some point. So whether you demonstrate and start breaking police cars, in the end will damage the country. So they have to regroup. They have to develop and cultivate a mindset that is driven by their internal emotion and attitude, rather than what is driven outside the external environment, because it's the external environment that is destroying them. And that is our leaders, who are, sorry to say, I think they are far from reality than the speed of light. They don't really get what the reality is, because if they do, they will make the country a better place for the future generation, because they're not going to be there. What they are doing now, they're not going to be there in 50 years' time. So that hurt the future generation. But they haven't got that mindset to do that, because they are driven by their own self-agenda. We, the youth, have to think differently. Shouldn't be driven by our own agenda. We need to be driven by collective responsibility and change of mindset.
Wow. Wow, I think you should definitely go into politics, because you've answered that very politically correct. But no, I totally understand. And you know, you also say it here. You know, you talk about how allowing your light within you, you know, impact others, and to you, that's what success is. What will you say to the youth? You know, that I feel like our generation now. This is not just Ghana, across board. We're really driven by material things. You know, a lot of us will work hard just so we can come and like show off on social media. A lot of us might even put our lives in danger just so we will have, you know, what is what. And you know, I feel like reading your book and you know all the other writers and everything, it's kind of confusing to me. I'm like, how did we get so lost? How did we move so far away from this idea of success to now thinking success is me wearing shoes with the bottoms painted red, or you know, with me, you know, wearing like there's nothing wrong with wanting luxury,
Yeah.
But I mean, how did we now move so far away from, you know, understanding that success is you having an impact on society, you having direct impact on someone else achieving their goals, than, you know, as compared to, I don't know, I'm standing at the Shard and I'm taking pictures.
Yeah. For me, it's quite sad. For somehow, when I'm talking, sometimes I call our creation like humans, as if I'm not part of it. But I do think humans have lost it at some point because they've lost the value of life and the value of success. Because what have happened over the years is that the society and the illusion of the human race have created a lot of divisions, and this is driven by the condition of the mind that focus on survival and focus on self-agenda and self-interest.
Right.
And that has filtered throughout the economic cycle, policy making, and the way we perceive our so-called reality. Because I think fundamentally life is a trade-off. So there is never a one dimension. So if you have to, if you want to enjoy your success in life, you have to share it with someone. Otherwise, you have a point in your life where you can have a sleepless night because you're all the time checking the stock exchange to see whether your money is losing. So we've lost that, and we are more driven by self-agenda and greed. And this is fueled by the social dynamics in life, where you have to have iPhone, you have to have an expensive car, and that add on to the stress. And all because we think that happiness is an external factor. So we put happiness in the external and the material world. So what it means is that when I work hard and I have this house and I have this money, I'll be happy. But you know, you won't be happy because happiness is something that is internal. It's not you. And then through that, because you're not happy, you want validation from other people. So your validation, your respect is what you have. And if that is gone, you're still unhappy. So it means that your understanding of success is inadequate.
Right.
It means that success is a culture that has to be shared among people. So if I see success as a collective responsibility, everything that I do, I filter the other person. I became an inspiration to the other person. Because if you are an enlightenment being, then there is this light that guides you to make the right decision at this particular lifetime. That life has to inspire someone else to follow a path. But that path is not necessarily enforcing or giving authority on that person to follow your path. It is opening the eye of that particular person to find their own path in life.
Right.
So when you're successful, you have to open the path for someone else to find their way. But at the moment, we are not. So when I'm successful, I want you to come and, especially in Ghanaian culture, I want you to come and beg me for money.
Yeah.
Or I want you to come and clean my house. And this illusional world is filtered through our whole country. And then people are suffering because there is no collective responsibility. I mean, what excuse you give to paying a lot of money, that's equivalent to like £6,000 to First Lady, when there's someone where the average salary in Ghana a month is £120 a month. You see where the division is? And in return, you have a suffering and pain because your illusion in the world have created this painful for everyone else. And so this is why I'm saying that the youth have to change something within themselves. Otherwise, this cycle will just be repeating. So for me, I see sources, as I wrote, that it is a collective responsibility. It complements each other. So when you want to come from the spiritual world and go to the quantum field, every single event that happens must have a higher intelligence. So the Christian will say that God has to look at this particular thing to collapse the possibility. So everything you achieve has some higher power in it.
Right.
So I don't believe that things happen just like that. There has to be something that forces that to happen. So if that happens, it's your duty to transfer that energy to something else or to someone else to inspire the future generation. Then the evolutionary process take place. But I think with this, the human race have lost it quite a bit, and it's more about egos and self-driven factors rather than what is good for society as a whole.
Wow. Guys, if you are just joining us, we are talking about attitudes and mindset, and we are using Dr. Nate's book that is out at the moment, which is The Successful Spirit, as point of reference. We have established that success is a collective responsibility. Unfortunately, a lot of us now think, do you know what, let me just be selfish, the world can just collapse, but as long as I am okay, my family, my children are okay, we are fine. I'm not going to be bothered with, what is happening around me. But, that is the wrong mindset. That's the wrong attitude to have, because at the end of the day, if you have it all and the people around you don't, you're in danger, because they're going to come and rob you because they're hungry and they can't just be there watching you with a house full of food and they're starving. That's just an example. So it's about time, we adjust our mindset to just becoming more of a collective responsibility. I like what you said in your book. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So you were speaking about how when you were 9, walking barefoot, going into people's houses, begging for food and begging for water. Like, even at that tender age, you weren't really, it wasn't all about you. You were like, oh, okay, someday I want to make it so your 8 brothers and sisters will be okay. It was all about, I want to make it so my mother will be okay, and all of that. And then you also said that, you're not special, that we are all created equal. And I feel like that's very, very important for us to touch on, because, so many people will look at their circumstances and be like, oh, because I'm black, or because I was born in a council estate, or, this person, because they were born into royal family, or they were born to the president, and what, they have it better, that they have better opportunities, and this, that. Why do you say that, we are all equal? And, because if I choose to eat McDonald's every day and you choose to work out, I mean, clearly you're different. That's why you can go on to win Olympics, and I'm stuck at home playing video games.
No.
So please expand and explain to us, like, why do you say we're all equal, and how does that play into their success spirit and their attitudes and mindset?
I think we've meant to believe and believe that we live in a dualist world, but I don't think we do. I think fundamentally, so when you have consciousness reflects itself in everything. So it comes from a linear point of view, or a linear point, and when that linear point is coming, then it diverts itself and changes into so many different forms. So it can be humans, it can be trees, it can be anything else. But effectively, when you have to reverse this, it all goes back to the same source.
Right.
So every human being on this planet, or every living thing, is created equal and come from the same source. One doesn't have any higher power. So there is, I believe in creation, there is something like hierarchy, but no hierarchy. So the top feed the bottom, and the bottom feed the top with information. So there is no hierarchy. So it means that this notion of hierarchy and division is created by society and our own perception.
Right.
This was not the logic of the universe. This was not the logic of creation. Creation was not, we were not created to come and said, okay, you are a woman, so you can't get this job. You are black, so you belong in society. No, creation was created with the power and intelligence that when people are different, their diversity contribute to to the greater good, because the diversity is what created the power.
Okay.
So based on that, we are never created to be superpower over each other. We are created equal. So it means every single person has an equal ability to change their life. But then the question is, how do you do this? This is where the human race get lost.
So please, how do you do it? How do we win gold Olympics? Please tell us.
and this, I think, boil down to our mindset. So you have to basically, most of the time, we allow our body, which is always in the past, okay, it's unconscious.
Yeah.
It's like a robot. We allow our body to dictate every single part of our life, to tell you that, okay, you're from a cancer state, you can do this, you can do that, or you know what, you're not good enough. You are all good enough in a different way. What you need to do is to tune into your higher power, which is the mind,
Right.
to direct you on what path you need to take and what attitude you need to cultivate to achieve what you want. Because the brain cannot help you. The mind can help you, and your attitude will take you to where you want it to go.
Isn't the brain the same as the mind, please?
So
What's the difference?
The brain is just basically is more like I would say the transducer. So the brain just feed all the information to the human body. So the brain will tell you that, okay, you need to eat. Okay, this nerves is not working. Okay. It's like a memory bank. It tells you a lot of, okay, this person hurt you from the past, you know, or you can't take this road because it's too dangerous, or your boyfriend is this, or your mom is this, or I hate this colleague, or I can't stand this, or I can't do this. This is the work of the brain. Okay. But the mind is the quiet one that intends to guide you.
Is that your conscious?
It can't be kind of conscious. It can't. Some people call it the little voice in your head.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the things that you need to listen to, because they are all the time quiet but very effective. So what you need to do, and some people have also associated with the right side of the brain, because innovation comes from the left side of the brain because it's the critical analytical part.
Right.
Consciousness is connected to the right side of the brain, which is more creative. Okay, it's more creative. And it's also the part of the brain that can help you with transcendence as well. So to see more than the reality that the left brain thinks you're telling you.
But
you
I see ghosts and stuff.
Well, there is you are spirit, right? So you're a spirit using the human body. So at some point you return to the spirit. So there's nothing like ghosts. We are all in the same point, right? But what you need to do is to try to balance the right and the left side of the brain. They have to stay balanced. But at the moment, in our generation, there's not the left brain has more superior power than the creative side of your brain. And if you have this, you have a lot of critical thinking and a lot of downtime and all the time over repeating things. You have no opportunity to create.
Right.
Quiet the brain, let the mind work, and you will find your inner strength, because we are all powerful in different ways. But how do you use that power to reach your potential that has been given to you? This is the question. If you use the brain, you become a limit person. But if you use the mind, you become limitless, because then the possibilities can't come in. Okay.
Wow. I feel like we're so engrossed with proving to one another that what you can do, I can do, and that's why we're just ignoring our own powers and our own strengths, because we're so focused on everybody else. And it's like, calm down. You're great. You have great power. You have all the potential in the world. So, you know, just like Dr. Nate said, quiet your mind and, you know, find that strength, find that power within you. We've got a few people, well, your family, as always. Listen, the Nate family, they come like the mafia. Listen, they support their brother anytime we have him here. We've got Alice Nate. She says, kudos to you, brother. And then we've got Nana K Nate. He says, my father, for for all, may the good Lord bless and protect you, because your plans for the incoming generation is powerful. Great. And then we've got Nana Kwame. He says, well done, Desire. You do all keep it up. Thank you so much. So thank you guys. I see all your messages come in, but the conversation is so good, and I want to ask him, I don't know when we can get him back, because like I said, he comes from a very far land to here. So once we have him in studio, let me just get back to the conversation. I find that for this past kind of I want to say like a month or something, like, yeah, my spirit is like literally like so down, and it's like I've got so much going and I'm doing stuff, but you know when you just don't feel inspired. So I know I'm not the only person that is going through this. I know I'm not the only person that has these kind of issues. They come on and off. We're talking about tapping into our mind, tapping into the strength within us. There's somebody out there that's watching, that's saying, listen, I hear what you're saying, but give me practical reasons. When I wake up in the morning and I've watched the show, I'm ready to tap into my strength. How do I do it?
There is a saying that quiet and know that I'm God. There is a
still
saying,
and know that I am God.
And all these chatters that is going on in your head are quite pointless, because when you wake up in the following morning, trust me, you have the same 6,000 thoughts that you had the previous day. You have the same thing. So probably they are quite pointless, right? When you sit down quiet and spend just 30 minutes in your own thought, don't think about anything, don't think about your work, just be quiet, be silent, and let everything go and come back to your senses. You will always find inspiration outside your three-dimensional world, because the three-dimensional world are limited. It's just full of thoughts. Right. You can do this, you can't do this, there's not enough time. Just quiet, sit down. Most people, they get up in the morning and they sit down for 30 minutes just quiet without doing anything and just observing their thoughts, which is very important. And when you begin to observe your thoughts, you move away from that negativity and that forces, and you begin to use that thought, that energy, because every thought carry frequency, and every frequency do what? Carry energy, and this energy drains you because you need this energy to produce something else. So your spirit is down because you haven't got enough energy. Why? Because you are thinking about 1,000 pointless things at the same time. Right. Why don't you spend the time, just be quiet and quiet that, observe that thought, move away from those negativity and focus your attention on something else, because where awareness goes, that's where energy flows. Focus your attention on the important things that you are grateful for in life, right? Not what you do not have or what you haven't done. Focus on the things that you are grateful in life, and leave the rest to the unknown. Because I get up in the morning and I got a lot of emails, I go sit, but I have to do my hour meditation to forget about everything, and I will get through the day and I will solve all the problems on my laptop without not breaking any sweat by feeling that, wow, I can't do this, I can't. I better use that energy to create something. So, one, you need to quiet your mind, and you have to be aware of your thoughts. What is coming in your head, all those chats, you have to be aware of it. Do not place your emotion on them, because if you do, your energy run out.
I think that's where you talk about how we interact with the world around us, and how we let the world like kind of affect us as well. And then you also said, I like this, you said, I refuse to curse my own future with my thoughts. After all, I had nothing to lose, so what worse could have happened? I think this is probably one of the most powerful sentences within the book, because is very deep. Refusing to curse your own future with your own thoughts. You know, a lot of the times we think, oh, it's because I didn't get good grades, it's because I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But it's about time that we accept that our mindset and our attitudes actually really do affect our future, and we have that responsibility. If your life is failing, more times is because you visualized it failing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's happening. But I feel like we've become so detached, and we don't like to take responsibility for anything. Like everything is everybody's fault, is the world's fault, but our own.
Yeah.
But what you've already established is we have a responsibility in how we interact with the world and the things that happen around us.
Yes, we do. And I always say most human beings are dead walking, and some people it has a meaning when I say that to people that they are dead walking. It means that they haven't got any awareness of what is happening, you know. And this is why some people may say that, you know, it's not my fault that I fail my
Entertainment TV, the home of good education.
They are not aware of their thought, because their thought they have become the victim of the program.
Right.
Okay, so remember, your body, when you're born, your body is conditioned and your brain is conditioned in a certain way to fit this physical reality. But it's up to you. So there is a free will choice that we have to make. And then there is also the baggage that we come with, which is the brain and all the things that happening in the internal world. But these people do not knows that their thought is creating this, because it become habitual. It just keep on playing all the time until they are able to detach themselves and become the observer of their thought and say, this is where my thought is going, that is where my energy is focusing on. That is why the collapse of the possibility is always negative on my side, because all the time I'm like laser beam pinpointing on when will this bad thing will happen. Of course it will happen, because where energy goes, where attention goes, energy flows. And when energy happens, there is possibilities, so that will come your way. And it's, for me, it's more about lack of awareness of our thoughts. Rather than not our fault, because if you are aware and you are not like a car being driven, but you are actually driving the car, you will be able to understand why things are happening in your life. Then you will be able to also observe what is happening in the external environment and detach yourself from it.
Look for hazards and how to maneuver.
Exactly. Because not everything that is happening in the external environment is good for our soul. And this is most important, and you can only get happiness from your soul, not the external environment. And if you can't pinpoint and find out what are the influences that is impacting on my life and my mental health, then you will always have a problem, because you include them together in the same pot. But there is you, and there is external world that you have to navigate yourself. So you need to find the tools to navigate yourself in the external world. Otherwise, the external world destroy you before your time. And this is what is happening in the world at the moment.
Wow. What a discussion. Listen, if you joined us late, you missed a great discussion. You will be able to watch it back on our YouTube channel, Entertainment TV, or right here on Facebook as well. We've been talking to Dr. Emmanuel Nate, who's a gold medal Olympian. He's a doctor and PhD. He's an international lawyer, the CEO of the Youth Court. Listen, he does it all. How he keeps looking good and this young and in shape, I guess it is the mindset. So before you bite that burger, please change your mindset and put it down. Go and drink some water. So the discussion, we've been talking about, attitudes and mindset, and it all boils down to the fact that, listen, we are the drivers of, this car. we have the power to create the life that we want. It is our responsibility. But more importantly, what we need to accept and what we need to understand is that success is not a selfish thing. Success is actually a collective responsibility. So, you know, if you want to succeed in life, ask yourself why. What is your why? And, you know, who do you want to impact? Who do you want to benefit from the, you know, the success that you are aiming for and you are driving for? Just before, you know, we round up the show, I want to round up, you know, this whole topic with a line from the book. So Dr. Nate has a book out at the moment. Is a collective book. Is I think is a lot of high achievers that have come together to write a book, giving us their views on, you know, success and how to achieve it. The book is called The Successful Spirit. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on, I guess, eBay and Waterstones and all the other places. Yeah, so the quote that I want to round up this whole show with, and what I want you to hopefully hold on to is, it goes, life for me was and is about going forward, about shining my light so that others may see themselves through me, so that others can believe in themselves. This is what I call success as a collective responsibility. So, you know, again, we all want to succeed. We all want to be, you know, the ones on top. But who do you want to impact? You know, what's the point of that success? When we're talking about your success story, how do you want it to end? You know, and what impact do you want your story to have on the world? Doctor, thank you so much for coming on the show. Just before we go, do you have any last words for your people, your fans out there?
No, not that much. I think people need to start believing in themselves, and also people need to start being more aware of what is happening around them, and also their impact on society as a whole, because either way, we all have to face the reality of what someone else has done, whether it's far away from us or not. So everything leads back to the same source. So we just need to be a little bit cautious about our behavior and its impact on society.
Right. And yeah, be mindful of your thoughts, what you decide to engage your thoughts in, and remember that you know, whatever's happening around us, we have a choice to either let it affect us or we can just let it go. And then also remember, whatever decision you make is going to determine your destiny. So ultimately, if you live a full life or a short life, if you live, you know, a happy life or an unhappy one, it is all up to you. It's not your grandma in the village. It's not your stepmom. No, it is your choice. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been wonderful chopping it up with you, having you know, this time with you. Please keep safe, and please, if you can, pray for England, because it's coming home. It's coming home. We wish the English team all the best, and you know, we pray that, you know, they will bring the cup home. I know we haven't won the Euros for like a couple of years, so it will be wonderful to be part of history when they do win. But yeah, so please keep safe, and I will see you the same time. Oh, actually no, from next week we are moving our time from Fridays 6 to 7 to Sundays 7 till 8. So please watch out on my socials. I will be announcing, like, you know, confirming the new times as well. So we're leaving Friday. Listen, outside is open. I'm not about to be stuck here chatting with you lot when outside the sun is out. I want to be out, you know, with a glass of wine and just enjoying summer. I'm joking. No, we're just moving things around in the studio, but don't worry. I'm trying to find a good time, because what we find is, you know, a lot of people are not able to tune in live with us during Fridays, but a lot more people watch the show after, so we're trying to play around with times and see the best times that we can actually have a more interactive show, because I always love hearing your comments and reading your comments and views as the discussion is going. So hopefully I'll confirm that during the week. That's all from me, folks. Stay blessed, and I will see you next week at some point.